but nothing like the Great Depression, nothing like what's going to be coming down the pike, at the end of 2012. Nothing like that. But that's what they're going to do, the same damn thing. We can get our money back. We can get our system of government back. The great idea of actually taxing the Federal Reserve for every dollar instead of just paying them interest, taxing them on getting back the money. It's just beautiful. What a great idea. But transitioning to sound money, there will be a depression, worse than it is. It's got to get worse. So it doesn't matter. You see, if the Republicans win, this is going to happen, and they're going to blame the Republicans.
Oh, did you hear?
If Obama wins and this happens, they're going to blame Obama and then vote the Republicans, and they're going to say, "Let's be the new world order," or vice versa. Okay, the Republicans win, Obama loses, everything crushes. Then another Democrat comes in as the savior and says it's going to be world government. Doesn't matter. They're both going to say world government, world currency, global solution, only way to go. That's the fraud. Doesn't matter who the president is. They're moving to world government. He's a puppet. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just ranting.
No, that's fine.
Absolutely
I was just
true.
going to say, since we're talking about that Republican Democrat, did you hear how Rick Perry dropped out today and is backing Newt Gingrich?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
Gingrich.
Spoilers.
From 8 to 9 points now.
Yeah, they're trying to play that game, that inter-party game, because Mitt Romney,
Did you also?
So establishment, like as if Newt Gingrich is better.
Did you hear about Newt Gingrich's second wife?
Psychological warfare. Oh yeah, I don't even see. Of course, this is where we talk about Truth Talk News. I'm not interested in this bullshit. So what? These people are all criminals. They all fuck everybody that walks. He wants an open marriage. So come on. Half of America watches porno. It's not an issue, if you really ask me. But then they make it this big, moral issue. Like we're this big moral country, where we go and fucking kill millions and millions of people in the name of liberty and freedom. We slaughter them. Okay? The worst kind of tyranny. And they're saying they're worrying about how many lovers Newt Gingrich wants to bring into his wife's bedroom. Come on. It's a distraction. I'm sorry. That's why I get mad. Because, I take a glimpse at the mainstream because you have to. It's just,
well, that's what they talk about.
That's all they're going to talk about.
They're not going to talk about the Federal Reserve or not.
No, demonize Newt. Demonize, all these people. Now, this guy, Perry, drops out of the race.
And supports Gingrich. Gives him his 1%, I guess.
Gives him his. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's obviously. It's all about Romney now.
You heard about the election thing where there was the
fraud. They're all frauds. That's another thing. These elections have been. We know they're frauds.
We were like, come on. Yeah. But now they're now Santorum won and Romney didn't. I don't know.
War is peace.
And I guess a lot of the ones where there was the young areas where it was a lot of college kids where Ron Paul's about 50%. Though they had trouble with those, obviously. And, who knows what that would have did for Ron Paul.
I don't know. It's not a good situation as far as the
globalists
are really attacking, are really putting an all-out attack on, they want Romney, man. They're going, they want Romney. Romney is equal to
Obama in. But what I was going to say, now I forgot.
Romney equals Obama, exactly.
With Roger Landry, the last time we talked to Roger, what everybody has to do is, you got to go to where we see the ballots, handwritten ballots.
Yep.
Everybody all over America has to go and get this done in their own area, and just like us, we all changed Connecticut, we got to get that done. If not, it doesn't really matter if we vote or not.
Yeah.
Because
they rig these elections, ladies and gentlemen, and now they have electronic voting machines. I mean, it's such a joke. They've been rigging these elections for a long, long time. This goes on record again. You can watch this. This is a great source because it just happens to be so much of this material happens to be in this Fritz Springmeier film, which is on the live stream Truth Talk News archive there, and it talks about how when Bill Clinton and and Bush were going at it for the election, a year before they had the Electoral College results. They had the results, the actual results that ended up being the real results of the Electoral College, which is like, you know,
way before we thought it was happening.
Way
it was
before
happening.
it was
What
happening.
you're saying.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because most
They have
most
the
people
whole
didn't
thing
hear about
planned.
it until really Bush and Florida and all that.
They have the whole thing planned.
Yeah,
And they'll
it was
shift
way
their
before
agenda
that.
if they get a little bit of somebody, if they get any heat on anything, they'll shift their agenda. They'll like what they might have done here. Like right now it's Romney. It's anybody but Ron Paul. That's for sure. Anybody but Ron Paul. Which is
all of them
you know,
work for the same people.
yeah. Well, again, you know, you come down to the way to save this. I think, you know, it's crazy because they say if you're an independent, you know, there's no chance. But it might come down to that because of these criminals have so infiltrated the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Everybody in them are just such corrupt puppets. And just face it, ladies and gentlemen, including the people I'm talking to, the politicians.
Yeah, the Skype thing. I don't know.
You know, what?
Is there something on Skype?
I don't see it. Why, somebody there?
On the right one?
Here?
No. It's flashing on the bottom of your screen. Right there.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh.
No. Anyway, but
But
no, really, these
but it doesn't
politicians.
matter, though.
Don't
If
you
the-
realize that every time they vote for a bill, they sponsor a bill to audit the Federal Reserve, then they vote against it. I mean, all of this stuff, they're all bought and paid for by these lobbyists. We got to get rid of these lobbyists. We got to stop this lobbying. We got to stop this whole system. That's really the truth. I mean, the lobbyists are the problem because that's how the New World Order gets their money to these people, to their minions, to get their little agendas across.
And the electronic voting.
Well,
you have to stop.
yes, not only
It
that,
doesn't matter.
it has to be a
Because
paper
even
vote.
if 90% of the people could be behind the poll, it's not going to matter.
It's true. It's
So,
true.
Without that, you know, it's all just talk to me.
Yeah.
You know, they could just say whatever they want, and there's nothing that'll happen. And nobody, you know, then they'll be spending the next years going to court over it, right? Trying to show what the real results were. It won't even matter by then. So we got to do it before the election. Everybody's got to get that taken care of with the polling.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Unbelievable, but so that's the whole thing. I mean, you have to have some way of backing it up. You know, without this, you know, they're so good at just deceiving everybody, and they really are entrenched in everything, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how else to put it. I mean,
They control everything. And
they
this
just
is another
about
thing
control
that
everything,
we-
and they want more control. Look what they do every day. They write laws. Look at these laws they pass. Oh, we're going to pass this new law and take away this right. Who cares? You know, you're a terrorist. You're a terrorist.
Well, you got Mitt Romney sitting there. You heard when the people were booing Mitt because he sat there and said,
Oh.
"Oh, he was for the detaining bill." They asked him it, and he said, "Yeah, I'm for it." You know, and all the people started booing. Of course, Ron Paul supporters.
Well, how
And he
could you
said-
be for something like that?
Well, he sits there again, and 'cause-
Ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution protects even Americans, okay? After all, I'm being sarcastic. All right, they'll protect the rights of an immigrant to an illegal immigrant to the top. Watch, go just look. Oh, they don't do that. They're terrible. No. It's hard to get. They want them in here, so they're allowing them to be in here, and they're treating them well. At this point, that will change. But right now, oh yes, Americans. I guess the fact that we were Americans and that there are laws for treason and there are laws for all of these other things and due process put in place by the Founding Fathers for the specific purpose of any type of insurrection that would be considered terrorism or something like that, right? Isn't that true? But they also put things in place where the people have the right to bear arms against a corrupt and evil government, and that's why it's there, not so people can hunt and fish. Because in the end, the only reason why no country has ever invaded America, ever, is because we have so many guns. I mean personal guns, guns that people own. It's hard to take away your guns unless you give them away. You give them away, they'll take them. That's no problem. But there are a lot of people in this country that will never give up their guns. They'll give up their lives before they give up their guns. And that's a fact that they're trying to mind control the majority of the population to believe. We'll give you a trip to Vegas if you give up your gun. We'll give you, or whatever. They give a million different programs. You give a gun, we'll give you
or rat out your neighbor.
Or rat out
for
your
money.
neighbor for money if they have an illegal gun or whatever.
Or Fast and Furious.
Or Fast and Furious. Criminals! Come on, they want to take away our guns so we can't defend ourselves. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you own a couple of guns, you go on a list. Oh my God. You know? You speak out against the government, which is, by the way, what we do every day, every show, is this is a petition of grievance to our government and our officials. That's what We Are Change is. We're trying to, make the change that we want to see in the world here, peacefully. I'm at that point again. That's like what I get sort of like blue at this point. It's like, damn, it's so freaking hard to get through to people. People don't understand that this is why things are the way they are. This is why there's war. This is why the economy is the way it is. This is why wages are stagnant and prices are rising. It's not just a happenstance. I go through it all the time. There are books. Saturday's show is going to be intense. I have a lot of stuff to go over Saturday regarding stuff from 1971 and 70 and all before the embargoes and all of that, all the stuff that was coming down the pike in the next 35 years, basically predicted by a work by Gary Allen called None Dare Call It a Conspiracy. Anyway, Gary Allen's work, the Rockefeller File, has so much information regarding this, the way that this works. They have all of the connections through the CFR and all of the people listed and all of the agreements and all of the publications and all of the documents listed from the Rockefeller Foundations, from the United Nations, from the federal government, from Congress, all explaining how they're moving this showing them moving this towards this world government with a military-industrial complex. We are the policemen of the world. And this book was written in 1970, I think, 4. It's the Rockefeller File. I'm not going to go into too much of it, but Lewis Carroll, this is how, I'm going to just again, open it to a page like we said the other day, Rockefeller doesn't matter, right? World Government Proposition 64. Listen to this. Now, proponents of a world government disguise their intention behind all kinds of double talk. For example, now this is from 1974. Senator Alan Cranston, remember him? Senator Alan Cranston ran for president a couple times of California. And for many years he was the president of the Rockefeller Interlocked United World Federation, Federalists. And he defended his proposal for a world superstate with these words: World Government Proposal 64 does not propose that we give up a shred of sovereignty. Listen to this. Plainly, it opposes a means by which we can gain the ability to exercise our presently impotent sovereignty. Listen to this. In the vital area of war prevention. So what do they say? War prevention, we're impotent, we're going to prevent war, and for that, we have to give up our sovereignty. Very important, critical understanding there. Then, he says, it proposes that we create a limited world government and deposit our sovereignty there. Let us repeat that. Senator Cranston says we won't give up a shred of sovereignty. This is Orwellian doublespeak. If we create a limited world government and deposit our sovereignty there. Just like saying, what's his name? The Skull and Boner, John Kerry, saying we're not going to have any military action in Libya, we're just going to be bombing strategic targets. Okay? And people it just goes right over, it's mind control. It really is. Alright, made my point about mind control. Read the Rockefeller File too. Again, more information. You can get all of this stuff online. You can get the PDFs, you can download them, you can read them. The Rockefeller File by Gary Allen. None Dare Call It a Conspiracy by Gary Allen also. Alright. That was my source for that. That was awesome. Now again, I'll be going over a lot of this information about the Rockefellers and the Federal Reserve and that criminal fraud that's been going on for 100 years and about to explode on Saturday. Anyway, let's give some plugs. We have a plug out thanks to Harry Link, who streams us this show on Death to the New World Order We also have a big shout out to Pam Suggs, who streams our show